I don't know if I got any details about the other companies talking shit, but there's been some jabs, some Wendy's on Twitter level fucking
Oh my
jabs
god.
going on. You know, it's one of those.
Blockbuster came out of nowhere and did a tweet, dude.
Fucking barging in like Stone Cold Steve Austin and shit. Here he comes.
Just crashing two beers, throwing it up in the air.
And like, well. Look what we got here. How the
So
mighty have fallen. Welcome, Nerd Chatter, a weekly podcast where we discuss stories throughout the week from the film, gaming, and tech industries. Got Lucas with me today. What up?
What's going on, man? I'm all hopped up on caffeine.
on this week's show, we're gonna spill a little bit about that Spider-Man 2 trailer that dropped, and talk a little bit about that Sony showcase. But before we get into that, if you hit us with that like and subscribe, always much appreciated. We just watched that trailer. Was that the first time you watched it? Just a minute ago?
Second time because I was actually watching it earlier. So
And the gameplay?
and the gameplay, yeah.
Yeah. I've watched that like so many times. I also liked watching people's reactions to it. There's certain things, random things, where it's like my guilty pleasure on YouTube is to watch people's reactions, and a lot of things getting picked up. You know, not too many people noticing the fact that Queens, the entire side of the bridge, is added and expanded.
Yeah, Queens and Brooklyn.
Oh, and Brooklyn too. Yeah, so I mean,
You just doubled the map.
double the map almost. You know, so
You can take a taxi cab now.
I mean, they added the flying too, right? So I mean, it's obvious why they would do that. You know, so. It makes sense. I saw some people kind of like, oh, I don't know if I like that. And it's like, bro, that map is huge, bro. Like, have you tried playing that game without fast traveling? Like, you're adding, another like dozen hours on your experience and shit.
That's ridiculous.
So having a map that big, it makes sense. And not to mention, I mean, the character has always had the wingsuit. And the same thing in the movies, the newer movies. Not the Raimi verse, but the newer film, Tom Holland, his character has the wings, and same thing in the comic books. That is a genuine feature of that character, so it makes sense. And a little wind gust, you kind of get that sense of flying. I don't know. What do you think? Does it seem more like flying or gliding?
Was that what that was? That wind tunnel?
Yeah,
so like between the buildings, right?
Yeah, when you pop out the web wings. And you start gliding, then, if, you reach a certain point where there's like a wind pattern.
Yeah.
Then you can play that little mini game.
It's gliding. It's not flying. It's gliding.
I wonder how it acts if you don't hit those areas. You know what I mean? Like, do you gradually like float down to the ground and that type of thing? And in which case, then it makes more sense and it's, but, regardless, I think it's a cooler way of travel. You know what I mean? Like, if you can chain that shit into like the aerial moves that you can already do as those characters, like that's pretty sick. So
yeah.
But it starts off with, we had the Craven trailer, right? So all the people on the internet thinking that fool with that crossfade, like whatever the fuck mohawk shit they have going on, his little tribal tattoos and shit, that was Craven. But I mean, we all know what Craven looks like, so it's like, the trailer went hard. It looks super good. Like, that's PS5. It's impressive. Just the face, like the eyes, the light, just everything was very clean. You do right then and there. That's where I didn't see people reacting when they were watching the trailers, but they show the map pull out, right?
Right.
You see like Prowler, and you see like, both Spider-Men and that type of thing, Not sure if you saw Black Cat, but you see it pull back, and then you see it pull back past the bridge, and then there's Queens, and then there's other characters on that side too. So there's definitely like some shit like expanding on. I'm all about that like exploration in these games. Like I told you, and I told you that I'm playing Ghosts of Tsushima right now.
Sushi.
And people kind of consider that to be like fucking one of the greatest games ever and shit. I don't know, like I'd probably consider, like, in terms of like that gameplay where open world, explorative slash, the hack and slash or beat 'em up style games, Ghosts does come off as like super gorgeous, and It really like flexes like that PS5 like muscle and all that, but
Mm-hmm.
really in the combat, like the real gratifying experiences for me personally has come from Spider-Man. Even like Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2 back in the day, like all of them.
Well, you just played Miles Morales, right?
Yeah, let's play Miles Morales.
Because that was like the whole like when PlayStation 5 came out, that was like the huge.
That was their show. That's why they made it essentially. And like
Right, yeah.
I played it, and it's like I got the original one, and I mean, I've told you, I mean, I consider those to be like my favorite games. Like, if you're going to be like genuine, like really boil it down and like, what's your favorite game, like must have, it's like every Spider-Man game that like ever comes out, like I need it and shit. Unless it's like noticeably different, you know what I
You
mean?
need it like you need 2K.
Yeah, I mean, I get better results out of Spider-Man for sure and shit. I actually enjoy those games. But like the Marvel Spider-Man was like it was like the perfect upgrade. It was like what we had as those fans had been waiting for in terms of that game popping up, and not having a Sony console at the time was like torture and shit. And eventually I borrowed it. It took me I think 3 days to 100% that shit. Then I started going through DLC. And just kind of lost interest because other shit was coming out, and I think other shit was going on, like just responsibility wise, where it's just like, like I don't want to just do more of these little trial mission expansions and shit. So I gave up on the DLC. However, when I got the PS5, the Miles Morales was on sale, so I swung back. I think that took me like 2 days to 100%. So I mean, I enjoy them. I'm like a fiend for them. It's like I get such little like I'll say little enjoyment. I get such a short period of time of enjoyment because I beat them so fast. Like, and I'm talking about everything. Like I'm obsessed with like map traversal. So like I love finding all the little hidden trinkets and collectibles and all the little side missions and things like that. And at some point, eventually the games just run out of things to do. It's like, what are you going to do? Fucking fly around and shit?
Yeah, you just explore the world, dude.
It's like I already seen it by getting everything and shit. So, pretty excited, pretty stoked. The trailer for the Craven aspect of it looked dope. I think everybody that knows that character, it's like, that's just a traditional Craven, representation of that character. You know what I mean? Like, he's just looking for the best fight, you know what I mean? The best hunt. Did you play Spider-Man?
I didn't play one.
But you played Miles Morales?
I played Miles, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely there's a lot more meat on the bone of Spider-Man.
Wait, did I play Spider-Man? I might have played it on PlayStation 4 when I had it.
Spider-Man is, I mean, it's just more of, because Miles Morales is more of like feels like a tech demo DLC, like, kind of like the remastered is. I mean, they have the remastered now, and if you have it on PS4, then it's a $10 upgrade.
Dang, maybe I did. I just don't remember.
I mean, you would need the disc. I hate that shit, but you need the disc in to play the upgraded PS5 version.
Why?
Which is
it's you're only paying $10, right?
You're only paying $10, and you can always just borrow somebody's game, install it, and then give the disc back to them and then buy the upgrade. So they have
Can you do that still?
Well, they're forcing you to have the disc in the console every time you play the game, regardless.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Or have it downloaded into your library, you know what I mean, digitally. Which, could just casually get the experience by taking advantage of PlayStation Plus. Unfortunately, they removed Spider-Man from PlayStation Plus.
For that one reason.
The obvious reason, like, it's just so gross. It's such a same thing with Warner Brothers and their fucking HBO Max, where they removed Harry Potter like 2 weeks before Hogwarts Legacy came out, just so they could squeeze out some DVD sales, some Blu-ray sales. Pathetic. I hate it.
Nobody watches DVDs anymore. Like, that's
it's not. I mean, if you're going for like a true 4K, you got the sound bar set up or surround sound set up, home theater, and you're about that life, a 4K, Blu-ray is gonna knock your fucking dick off and shit. You know what I mean?
I guess.
It's not. You're always gonna be downgraded when it comes to like the encoding that you go through with like Netflix or streaming.
Streaming.
When you pop a disc into a 4K Blu-ray player on a 4K TV, that's not just some cheap little piece of shit TCL or whatever like Westinghouse. It's like you're paying some fucking money for an OLED
LG
4K.
C2, bro.
Yeah, some plasma shit or whatever the fuck, whatever the fuck laser, whatever the fuck they got these days.
I like how you took it back like 20 years.
the plasma, I mean, it's the
Not the OLED.
the fucking plasma.
Not what's current
where you
right
push
now.
the
You want-
screen and it's just like you can
And
see
it left your print.
Yeah, it will stay there and shit.
Stop touching the screen.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you get that experience, it will literally melt your dick off, bro. Like those visuals are insane, and like that's normally what they're pumping through when they're playing, like at Costco when you walk through, and they're just like, check out these TVs. They're like fucking 3 sheets of paper thin.
Yeah, and they want you to just sit there and watch it like a fucking fish tank,
It's like so.
look at these colors.
It's so crisp.
Look at these colors. And then you take it home and you're like, this looks nothing like it.
Like, why the fuck does it not look like that in here?
I can't see it because my room's so bright with all these windows.
I need 30-foot ceilings and fucking like bright fluorescent lights in here.
I done bought the wrong fucking TV.
Regardless, you get that true experience. It's like actually like worth it and shit. I digress. When it comes to this trailer, I really appreciate the Craven aspect. The new character in the movie, he's getting his own standalone movie in the Sony Spider-Verse, the Venomverse or what have you. Played by the guy from Kick-Ass, or Quicksilver or whatever. They got fucking mowed down in Age of Ultron. He's going to be playing Craven. I think I saw a picture. It might be legit. It could be AI. Who fucking knows these days, to be honest.
Right?
But, looking pretty jacked, He's got the fruitfully whatever the fuck he has around his neck and shit,
I think it's his coat.
Well, it's the leopard or whatever the fucking,
Whatever he killed.
Yeah, his outfit. The typical he had in this trailer as well, But I think there's going to be a weird take on that version of the character. So we will see. Temper our expectations on that one right there for sure. Anything Sony related and fucking Morbius, it's Morbin time and shit. I don't want to go through another one of those. But then you have it go straight into gameplay, right? And then we have direct gameplay in Queens. Boots on ground. Part of a map that didn't exist in the previous games. You're there, you're fighting. What did we see in that scene? We had Peter, right, kind of burst out of the basement.
Oh, the basement. Yeah. I kind of forgot where we were at.
There's the reference to Lizard, Connors.
Right.
You're not going to chase him. So obviously Craven is there. He's going to work his way down the list, right? He's going to go after probably bad guys that you're typically, you're going to have to save bad guys, I'm assuming, from Craven, because he's out there just trying to fucking capture all of them and shit.
Wouldn't you want Craven to go after the bad guys, being like the villains?
Or
is it because like villains could actually do something good if you teach them something? Is that like the concept?
I think the catalyst of this one is the fact that just Peter is attached to the symbiote and it's controlling his actions. You know what I mean?
Right, not Venom.
And Connors is not necessarily a bad guy. He's kind of like an innocence in the whole scenario. You know what I mean? It's like a werewolf type situation. He's
like
not,
something went wrong.
He's not in control when he switches over to Lizard. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's just primal being, and Spider-Man would save Connors. You know what I mean? That's just part of that whole deal. And even though he's infected by the symbiote at that point, he's still gonna do that. And then because he's after Craven popping off and probably taking out other characters, he's just gonna take offense to that and make it even more, aggressive attempt to like taking him out. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think the main villain of the game though is going to be Peter. It's going to be Spider-Man, the symbiote suit.
Because he's fighting that symbiote?
Yeah, and I think the final battle, there's probably going to be some type of introduction of Eddie Brock in the game. and like towards the last portion of the game, he's just like it's like the comics and the movie, you know, in the Raimi Spider-Man 3. Peter's going to shed the suit, or Miles, you are going to have to force the suit out of him, which I think it's a sound. I think it is. I think it's sound vibrations that affects the symbiote.
Right.
If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Like frequencies.
Yeah, well, like that's I don't know what movie it was. I think it was Spider-Man 3 where he hits the bars and shit, and it's like pulling away from his body.
Yeah.
But yeah, something going to be like that where the body is separated and then it latches on to Brock, and then probably the final battle of the game is going to be this new character, Venom, right? And
Right.
then the third game is going to be straight up just Venom and Spider-Man, you know, going at it and shit like that. Maybe
It's gonna
bring in
leave you
things like
hanging.
Punisher. Oh yeah,
This is gonna be
100%.
like Venom taking off into like the night sky, and then
Basically, yeah,
that's
it
it.
probably
And
is.
then
You're
it's
probably
credits.
a
You're
little
like,
bit of a fight, and then
what the
you're
fuck?
out. You're like, no, no, no. But I mean, I think that's based on the trailer. People's expectations of with the game, the villain was going to be Craven and Venom because, I mean, motherfucker was in an alleyway and shit, like on his own. He wasn't infecting either of the Spider-Men. He was in the alley in the dark. You know, you saw Venom's face. So I don't think they would go through, you know, that level of effort and also make that decision to put that imagery out in official capacity, yeah, trailer, without having some type of Venom in it. So I think a key aspect of the game is going to be you, Miles, convincing Peter to like, you know, get away from that shit, and then you're going to have some kind of like slight focus on Craven, right around there, and then like Venom's going to come in, and then probably just be like overwhelming, and he wins in his own little way and sets up the game 3, you know what I mean, which of course they're going to do. I just think that's a bummer because I was really anticipating like zipping around as Venom. Like Peter in the symbiote suit is cool. Like it's probably just going to be another suit that you could turn on after you beat the game, you know, which is cool. Like I'm totally going to get fucking hours of enjoyment out of that, like, you know. But like Venom's kind of dope as a
But
motherfucker, and I really, really wanted some Venom. You know what I mean? Like, damn, man.
you have to wait 3 more years for that.
Fuck, if that, like more probably, bro. Like, oh my god. So maybe there will be some playability with Venom at the end, which will then just kind of like free it up for some type of like free play after you beat the game. I don't know, but
I laugh so hard if you were waiting so long for that game, and he just looks like even more shit than what he looks like right now. Than the suit
from
looks like right now.
what I saw, I mean, for one thing, yeah, we talked about it. I don't like the suit at all, and we were kind of ragging on it. Like I said, it looks like PS3 level textures and shit. The design choice of just
On
the
your plasma
facial
screen TV.
features on my plasma fucking CRT TV and shit. Like the textures, like terrible. Like it's bad. It looks all nasty and like smooth, and like it doesn't look wet. It doesn't look like, you know, it doesn't look like goo. It
looks
just
like
looks
Armor
like
All. It looks
cheap,
like plastic
lumpy. Yeah, like it. And then like in that final scene of the trailer, right next to like close-ups of Miles Morales, like his mask looks fucking gorgeous. And then it
Super
cuts back
detailed.
over to fucking. It looks like a fucking fan made like mashup that somebody put on Facebook and shit or some shit, or like YouTube, you know, where it's just like, you know, it's like high resolution Miles Morales, then it cuts over to like literally PS2 footage of like Spider-Man talking and shit. Yeah, it's just what it looked like to me. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Don't at me and shit. But when it comes down to it, I think they could have done that shit better. I think just a black version of his suit would have looked fucking sick. You know what I mean? Like an off-white, maybe slightly silver version of his suit's Spider-Man symbol, but kind of contorted to be that Venom shape. Along with just all the basic features of his normal suit, which is underneath the symbiote suit. You see it. You see that white, red, and blue outfit that's from the games that I think is ass. He's wearing his fucking Asics running shoes and shit. I just think like a black and like maybe dark gray contrast version of that suit with a really bright like white or like slightly off-white Venom symbol instead of his Spider-Man symbol would have looked fucking hard as shit, dude. It would look so good. But instead they did this weird thing. This one has like fucking like shoulder like bumps and like
Yeah, shoulder
humps on
pads,
it.
dude.
Like,
He has
what the
shoulder
fuck
pads
is
on.
that? Like what is that?
But
And
I think it
his
was supposed to
chin-
give like that texture of like, like how you said, like the suit is underneath and the symbiote is like on top. So you're supposed to have like this weird, thick
Yeah.
texture. It just doesn't look good.
It might just be because I'm like a Raimi fan and that was a creative choice on their part where they just made his suit black. And to be honest, that's kind of what it was in the comics. You know, they didn't add all this weird shit. It was literally just a black smudge. You saw the white on his hands and then his chest, and then like that was it, and his eyes.
Wouldn't it have been easier just to take Miles' suit and just color code it to like black?
Well, yeah, but his head shape and shit like that. But like, I mean, even just whatever. I'm nitpicky. I just think that's my only downside of the whole trailer. Everything looks scripted. You could bitch about that if you wanted to. You were talking about the whole physics of him like swinging and shit. Like,
Yeah, that was my main gripe. Okay, so this physics thing of this doesn't make sense unless I'm not a physicist. But if you're swinging, momentum is from back to forward, right? So if you're swinging through the city or like in the gameplay, he's swinging through like the bridge, right?
yeah,
There's cranes strategically placed for a reason in this game. And
yeah, like,
when you sling your web, you sling backwards, but you're going forwards,
yeah.
and you miss the point that you could see literally in front of you. So
Yeah.
you're expecting to sling forward and swing, and then catch another crane, sling forward, and then but no, your web goes behind you. But
Yeah.
you're going. You get like all this momentum. I'm like,
And-
well, this doesn't make sense.
And you can see this too if you do if you put on the trailer and you watch it. You can put it in slow motion too. But like the web either goes like straight up or slightly backwards, and you're like, wait, what? Like, you get the momentum though. Like, it feels like you're hauling ass, and you're going. You're not going to notice it when you're playing the game.
Is this like a Disney trick or something?
It may be a thing where it's like, because you got to click the web to like shoot it. It's not automatic. So maybe it's this guy that was playing it, or girl, that was playing it, and their timing was bad, you know what I mean? And the game was just, because it was a chase scene, was just making do, and was just like,
No,
whatever.
it still didn't make sense. I don't care what excuse you have.
The body
It still didn't
movement
make sense.
and all that shit looked fine. If you ignored the web where it was like going,
You can't ignore the web when that's your main
I
thing.
can. I'm looking at momentum of like
No.
the actual like body and shit.
I'm
like
looking ahead of me. I'm like playing as the person looking ahead of me, and I see the crane, but my web goes backwards.
that. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely noticeable if you
It's
like
too
look at
hard.
it. Once you notice it, it's fucked. But it is what it is. Like that type of shit.
I mean,
you're
I'm still
definitely
gonna play
nitpicky. And also, like, his web looked kind of dark. Not Spider-Man's, but Miles. There's like little nitpicks and shit like that. You know what I mean? Certain things I think that PS5 is even more capable of like handling. Just certain little design aspects. As far as like the city, I told you where it's like they were saying like, oh, it looks like amazing, blah blah. I was like, whatever, like, like, I don't think it's too crazy. And then you see a side by side from the previous games, like exact locations, and it's like, holy shit, like the detail is like so much different. Like, there's so much more detail in this game, although I don't think it makes the city look substantially better. And in certain cases, side by sides, I saw where the first game, for some reason, like already pre-existing buildings in the game look better in the first one than it did in this one. So I don't know. There's some, like, somebody went to that exact location where he did the slingshot, which dope as fuck. Where he did the slingshot maneuver, and it's like those poles weren't there. There were AC units and blah blah. And then if you look at the building across, the windows look like way better in the first game than it did the second game. So I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to like get in there and see what's different, because it seems like they went and made changes, not just like upgraded textures and shit, but it looks like they redesigned certain parts of the city that was already in the first game. So I mean, I don't know. I don't think they remade the entire city, but they also made some decisions that are kind of like, what? So
I don't know. Maybe AC units didn't make sense and poles did this time.
I mean, those buildings are real. Why the fuck didn't they just look and shit? Just look at the motherfucking building and shit. And then you know you have like the I don't like the brooding Peter voice. I think it sounds kind of corny.
Mm.
Um, I understand that that's why why it's there. It should be there. I get it, all of it, but I just don't think the voice actor like pulled it off 100%. Um, I get the point though, and it'll be fine to deal with. I'm not worried about it, but the whole like he's mine, all that shit.
You gotta make him
Whatever.
sound mean, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he could just do it with tone. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to do it with like a grungier voice.
Yeah, like a
Like when I get
growl.
mad, I don't go like this. Oh, fuck. You know, like that's not how I get angry. Like if it's just changing my mood, like then I would just be snappier. I mean, you get that. You get his tone. He's definitely talking a different way. He's
Yeah.
addressing Miles differently, and Miles is receptive to that. You know, I get it. I see all that shit. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he had to go full Batman, fucking Christian Bale on it and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So like, you know, we'll see. I'm kind of bummed out. I didn't see any Venom footage, and you know, maybe that shit's halfway through. Maybe it's first acts. You know, maybe it's very soon that Peter sheds that shit. Who knows? Like maybe Venom's a huge part of the game. I have no idea. You can't really make any judgments. I just know that was a fantastic trailer and then gameplay footage. Although I'm not 100% sold on the symbiote suit, but I'll take what I can get. Maybe they'll make some changes. Maybe there'll be alternate versions. Because the game is all about that. Maybe it'll be every version of the symbiote suit, even from Spider-Man 3, and then I'll be fucking happy. Get that Tobey Maguire the black Spider-Man suit.
Oh, that one was dope though.
It did look dope. It actually
Yeah, that one
was
was
dope. It was. So, anything you like to say about Spider-Man 2?
Oh, I'm excited. I mean, there's always going to be some, buffering and buffing up, I should say, and make some changes, and can't just hold it down to what they showed us. So
Yeah.
should be good.
Traversal looks good. Love the slingshot shit. The feel of speed is always a part of that game. Combat changes looked pretty good. It didn't look. I mean, you don't see very much, to be honest. I don't think you see Miles free fight anybody really. It's all just kind of showing off the symbiote suit. So what other you see him in the warehouse do his new moves and stuff like that. So I guess that's not correct, but still looks the same. Love the tightrope. Oh my god, love that fucking that tightrope gadget. So many times where it's just like, damn, I could do some like fun ass shit if I was just able to like have a place right here where I can take somebody down. You know, some of my most enjoyed time on Spider-Man is doing those like hideouts, you know, where you got to take down like 30-40 guys in like a hideout, and doing the whole thing like stealth, you know, and
Yeah.
literally jumping off the building and swinging all the way around to a different position and then coming down again and taking 3 or 4 guys out and then disappearing, and super fun shit. So I'm stoked. It's a must buy for me. I mean, this is why I was like, I will get a PS5 one day. You know what I mean? Like if I get that, if I have that choice, then I'll choose it just because of Spider-Man and Wolverine eventually. I'm super disappointed we didn't get shit about Wolverine at anything this year, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't hold your breath.
At anything. Like, we'll
Yeah,
talk more
no.
about the Sony showcase here in a minute, but fucking hey, man. But as for the Spider-Man 2 trailer, we did repost that on our Twitter. If you haven't seen it already, just absolutely go check it out. If you're not into spoilers, then you know, Godspeed. Good luck. Good luck with that endeavor. You know, did they say when it was coming out? I don't think they said when it was coming out, right? I don't think they had a date.
I don't think they had a date.
I think it said fall.
So
Fall
October?
2023. So what's
It's
his
usually
name?
October, right?
The voice actor for Venom. Fuck, I forgot. He leaked it. So he's in the game. He did the voice. So yeah, Venom will be a part of it. They just didn't show anything of it. Of course. Silly me. But yeah, he said like August was when you'll start seeing promotional shit, and then September is when they planned on like releasing it. September, October. So yeah, we expect it just before Christmas. So Gonna be down. Gonna be super fucking down to play that game. That a must buy. And like I said, I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, and comparatively, personally, as somebody who likes those types of games, I choose Spider-Man over like anything. So I'm about that life. We'll move on here. Talk a little bit about that because we're Spider-Man fan, both movies and games. Stretching back to PS. I mean, not even past fucking N64 for me. Technically, the SNES game. That was a completely different beast, but going way back.
Oh, that one was fun though.
It was fun. It was one of those. I think it was like platformer game.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But
Come a long
everybody
way.
knows Spider-Man 2, one of the greatest games like ever created and shit, and all that. So it's a monumental game. It shows some respect. Like I
Put
said,
some respect on it.
yeah, put some fucking respect on that shit. If you haven't tried it, try it. It's cheap right now. Just don't expect it on PlayStation Plus, whatever. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the roundup. Just a handful of things here. Super slow couple weeks. People that follow our shit, the handful, are probably like, damn, these fools gave up and shit. It's like, no, bro, like the fucking, like the world
We're
gave
trying
up.
right now.
Like we don't have anything. There's nothing. Like it's all speculation, which we don't report on, which we may start reporting on if this is the case. Rumor mill, which we again don't report on.
We should start the rumors.
Yeah, just start saying like,
Yeah.
whatever, fucking Dwayne Johnson cast in next Marvel's film and shit.
Just blow up.
Yeah, like it's like what we didn't say was true.
Yo,
Like,
if we get retweeted by The Rock, bro.
right, it's like damn, we tapped into
Even though it's negative, I mean,
holy shit. He's like calling us idiots and shit.
yeah, like we're still
Fucking
down.
dumb. It's like a video response and shit. Like fuck, getting shit on.
Listen
by
up,
everybody.
guys.
But like we got some other news here. We got some Netflix fuckery and some
Oh,
Sony
God.
fuckery and some Dwayne Johnson fuckery.
Hey, speaking of Dune,
Yeah, it's not a busy week, but there were a couple things in here where it's like we had Diablo 4, right? That launch. I didn't play it. I've been dumping all my money into a little business endeavor, so don't really have the money or necessarily time to dump on.
and fucking Kenny's not here to talk on it.
And yeah, Kenny he's a Diablo fan. Don't know or don't think he got the new one. Maybe. Beautiful thing with that, cross-platform, cross-progression, cross-play, cross-everything. You know what I mean? Like, we could have it on PlayStation and play with Kenny on PC or whatever. It's a beautiful aspect to that. It's just one of those things. And I was looking the other day just to see what you and I could play on stream, and bro, you ain't got shit. you have dog shit options for Mac. And like you have pages of options, but they're like all shit, like really bad shit too. Not like, oh, like that game, I don't like that game. It's like, no, that game, nobody plays that game because that game is fucking ass.
And
There's a
can
couple-
they at least give me like Papers, Please,
They do have Papers, Please, actually.
for Mac?
Yeah, you do have Papers, Please.
Oh, dude, I'll totally play that.
If you go to Steam, like they have some games, but Paper Please is one of them. And there's a couple other okay, really good single player games, but nothing where we could play together. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
nothing where it's like. And then when you do have games that you can play together, it's like Arc, but Arc Mac servers only. You know what I mean? It's like what the fuck?
So you're trying to tell me I need to get a PC or something?
No, I'm just saying like it was just laughable because, but it goes to show you that that effort being made in part by Blizzard to allow people crossplay, it's something that games should just do these days, but they don't. And Sony is always the roadblock in that. But I like that. I like the ability to be able to hop around. We've talked about this, hop around from console to PC to mobile, what have you. I heard it's absolutely beautiful. Fucking smears like butter on the Steam Deck. I mean, we're getting into Diablo. I guess we could talk a little bit about Diablo. We'll just talk about
This is
Diablo.
all you because I just looked at it and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
like-
just kept on scrolling.
Yeah, we could just move on. I mean, the last one's kind of a dull story, anyways. But we'll talk about Diablo. Diablo. I mean, I don't know if you know anything about it. It's a hack and slash looter ARPG. ARPG is an action role playing game. typically at like an angled top-down type of view, like what is it, asymmetric or whatever, isometric. So you're looking down your character and you're running through levels, beating mobs, groups of villains, collecting loot and money to then go and up your gear, up your weapons, unlock abilities, fight in raids. This one has like raids and stuff people can like fight together with and shit like that. It's just one of those mostly first person experience. However, it takes place in like in a larger experience that you can enjoy with other people and stuff like that. Very dark. It's also, you're morbid. I mean, it's, I'm not saying this in like a snooty, like I enjoy the art style of the game immensely. Games like Elden Ring and shit are like some of the most like beautiful shit ever, but just that more like, it's a dark imagery, a lot of Satan this and devil that, and demon that, bloods and severed limbs and heads on pikes and shit. That type of imagery. So, I mean, I've never really gotten into it, not to mention it was a PC game. Considering it, and I had got into Lost Ark, and some people might remember Lost Ark being like a year ago. But a newer ARPG, flushed out, very enjoyable, run around, have your moves, go through dungeons, challenges, sell shit, buy shit, craft shit, that type of thing. And Diablo is just kind of like the mecca of that, you know what I mean? It's like just considered the best. And is just has the most prestige to it. It being a Blizzard game is just is what it is, And this one in particular has had, like, from what I understand, like one of the smoothest releases in like recent history of pretty much any game. So, good amount of praise about Diablo 4 right now. I think as of right now of filming this, we're still in that 3-day early launch period. Yeah. And the reviews are good, and they had an actual beta for this game. So it just gives to show you when, devs actually have a beta, not a demo, called a beta, when they actually take feedback and they use that feedback and gameplay to then improve the game, make sure launch is good. Then you get something like this, where the game, it releases smoothly, people are happy, people are grinding, no big bugs, and they can focus on tightening the experience and making it good. So this is going to be one of those games where probably in like a year, it's still going to be as popular as it is. And, people that didn't hop on are going to be like, fuck, man, I wish I started back when, it came out. Because, my buddies are fucking 50 levels ahead of me and shit. And, I can't run mobs with them because I get fucking dusted and shit. But the game is really about that, because like there's a lot of carry potential in that game. Friends who are heavy can just literally run through and just kill mobs for you and shit. You just tag along like a fucking rat. Just pick up loot and gear and shit.
That would be me.
I mean, that was me. My buddies were like maxed out because they were like all about Diablo and shit. But heavy consideration for me if I come into some expendable cash. Right now I got money. It's like I could just keep directing it in a different direction right now. So when I can free up some of that to actually worry about games, then I'll pick up Diablo for sure, and then Spider-Man.
Another $90.
I mean, I probably would go for the Ultimate Edition too, because the shit that you get is worth, to be honest, in those types of games.
I guess right.
Mainly because like mounts and outfits and shit like that, it's like, 4 years from now, people are looking back at being like, damn, like I wish I got pre-order, because the only people that have that are the people that got, Blizzard is good at that. They're all about mounts and outfits and transmog and shit like that. So, there's potential there. I mean, I know you're not about it, but I mean, if you got nothing else and a game that you could run with friends and that you get some time out of, probably going to be your best bet for a long while. You know what I mean? Aside from like a COD game, which I mean, or whatever. It's like, it is what it is.
Sorry,
like,
I was a COD fanboy for a long time, and then I just gave up on it.
It's boring, bro.
Do I have to go? Yeah, maybe I should try something else, right? Maybe I should step out of my bubble and try some
Just try
Diablo.
some like different shit.
I could get $70 for the standard version. I could do that.
Yeah, fuck you, bro. Wait for me, not fuck you. So it's yeah. I mean, expanding. I did that same thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like, we're super into Halo. Remember our Halo days and COD and all that
5 o'clock
shit?
in the morning playing Halo.
We were your typical gamer bro. Fucking,
Midnight release. Go home. Open that shit up.
We were those kids. We were those kids still around. We were those kids back then. But at some point I was like, damn, DayZ's weird as fuck, bro. What do you mean? Like, it doesn't tell me what to do, and I can get like fucking kidnapped and have fucking Windex injected into my veins. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
So like I could literally be chopped up and eaten. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Or
Damn.
So like getting into that and experiencing that and being like, there's like a certain level of adrenaline that comes from that experience of trying something new, especially something aggressive like that. That's a big push into like PC world for me, because I was all about like Counter-Strike and shit. But when I was like, I'll try this survival shit, let's see what the fuck's up, and then literally getting kidnapped and then have somebody like fucking hog tie me on the ground and like describe shoving a fucking cucumber up my ass and shit. Like,
I don't need that. I don't need that.
Absolutely. Just what the fuck is this? Like, oh my god. It's just DayZ's fucking crazy. Like, DayZ's fucking weird. I mean, he wasn't physically shoving a fucking cucumber up my ass, but he pulled out a cucumber and he's like, yeah, you know what I'm gonna do with this? And I'm screaming for help like a little bitch. I mean, it's a funny experience. You know what I mean? You allow yourself to get out of that bubble. You're like, it's exhilarating.
That's weird.
I mean, DayZ is just a weird fucking game, bro. Like, literally, the more human meat that you eat, the more your character maniacally laughs without you controlling it. So DayZ is a fucked game. DayZ's fucking fucked. Like, literally, you can take a syringe and you can fill it with Windex and inject it into somebody. It's the only game that I know where if you have a pistol in your hand and you hit like F4, you will get on your knees and shoot yourself in the head. Shit. Just so you can respawn, and then like all your loot just is on your body for whoever.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a wild. There's a world of experiences out there, bro. I'm telling you and shit.
There's games out there like that, but we're worried about Call of Duty causing what it's causing. Like,
people
aren't seeing the servers out there that are just.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about, what about the Al Qaeda fucking the ISIS?
Yeah,
the ISIS
yeah, dude. Like, what's the hell, bro?
Yeah. Those damn ISIS Roblox servers, motherfucker.
Dude, but we're worried about Call of Duty causing damage to our kids. Yeah, come on now.
No. I mean, it's there's some crazy shit. Now, obviously, like DayZ is a sandbox game, so that's not like those tools are there, and they are expressed. They are used as an expression of like how fucked up people are and shit. And that's the thing about once you start getting into that, is just the actions and the decisions of other people and like how fucking like weird and like creepy it can actually be and shit like that. Diablo, I'm not gonna say is like that crazy, but you get into guilds, you get into crews with people, there's drama, there's all that little bullshit. I don't think there's any loot hoarding issues with Diablo, but people like ninja looting and shit when it comes to like WoW is like like one of the biggest things. And there's all that shit. It's not just COD lobbies and playing fucking like 2K and shit like that. That's why people. That's what casual gaming is. That's what they call it, casual gaming. People take offense to it, where it's like, "Fuck you talking about, bro? I play like 150 hours of fucking COD like every 2 weeks, bro."
It's the same game.
It's the same game, bro. It's like, what the fuck? I dumped 50 hours in Arma. I dumped fucking 30 hours in Counter-Strike. I dumped fucking 40 hours in Team Fortress. I dumped fucking like. There's variety, and like actual gamers, like they're willing to fucking like step out there and get some
Yeah,
shit.
Diablo is like hundreds of hours.
I just recently got
That's
into
ridiculous.
ARPG though. Like I was like, I don't like that top down bullshit. And then I kind of got into it. I was like, oh, this is kind of fucking fun, to be honest.
And then you got sucked in.
Yeah, and then it was like it came out like right when my baby came home, and it was like I was staying home with the baby, so it was like I just had it running in the background. Was doing like AFK shit, and at that age the baby's like literally just make sure he doesn't roll over on his face, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like cuddle him and rock him when he's crying, but other than that, just let him chill. So it was easy to sit there and just kind of play a little bit of an ARPG, and
I mean, I guess you could say it's a good game when KFC gets in on the action.
I mean, once it hits fucking Burger King, game over. Yeah, I mean it's Blizzard, bro. So I mean there's gonna be a level of quality there, a reliability in terms of longevity. I think in terms of if you're thinking about games as an investment, Diablo 4 probably your best investment for the next 6 months.
PGA was definitely not an
Fuck that bullshit, bro. Give my money back. I should.
Can you get a refund? Just give me a refund.
Steam is actually pretty good. About people think that they said like, okay, so it's 2 hours of gameplay is the max, and that's it. You can't return the game if you play longer than 2 hours. I think there's also like a turn like in terms of like time.
Mm-hmm.
But after 2 hours of gameplay, you can't return it. I've returned it well after 2 hours, like 4 or 5 hours of gameplay. And been like, this just doesn't work on my computer. I've been trying to get this fixed. It doesn't work. What the fuck? I want my money back. And they'll be like, oh, okay. So like, I mean, just say it doesn't fucking work. That you've been troubleshooting the motherfucker for 4 hours, and that you're fucking tired of this shit. You want your money back, and they'll return whatever the fuck you want. Like you don't
There
have
you
to.
go. There's your loophole, people.
Yeah, I put like, I don't know, 50, 60 hours into the PGA. Don't think I'm going to be able to pull that one. So,
yeah, they're going to see all these credits that you spent, and they're just going to be like, you've been playing this, bro.
Motherfucker has mutas. Well, has two different sets of mutas. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could. I fucking wish I could, and I would drop it. For one thing, it's that, remember, I've been looking for a game for PS5. So on PS5, I don't know about playing that on a controller. I think I could get used to it. But that's a solid title that would put some value on my PS5.
Well, there you go. Spider-Man 2 and Diablo 4.
That's it right there. 500 hours of gaming. Like guaranteed 500 hours of gaming.
All right, I guess I gotta get out of my bubble. I'll try it.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those games where it's like it's about always moving forward. There's always a form of progression, and at face value, it seems like all you do is something. But once you start looking into details of everything the game is offering you, and you kind of open yourself up to talking to characters or looking at quests or reading things or listening to things, then all of a sudden you realize like, oh shit, if I grind this area, then I can advance this. And if I do that, then I can get this. And then, I'll get this mount when I do this and yada, yada, yada. Then all of a sudden, fucking 6 hours of your day is fucking gone because you're like, you ran
and
a
you're
fucking
drunk.
Yeah, you're drunk and you're fucking like all this fucking Wendy's chili all over your face and shit. And yeah, that's how it is. It is what it is.
Taking it back to the old days.
Yeah. So I mean, when I get a chance, I'll hop on there for sure. But
All right.
Diablo 4, that's a good one. Check it out. Good for them. Nice to see an actual solid release for a fucking change. Next one on here, Netflix starts rolling out additional $8 per account.
Fuck you.
Instantly shit on
Netflix.
by the entire industry. I don't know if I got any details about the other companies talking shit, but there's been some jabs. Some Wendy's on Twitter level fucking jabs going on.
Blockbuster came out of nowhere and did a tweet, dude.
Fucking barging in like Stone Cold Steve Austin and shit. Here he comes.
Just crashing 2 beers, throwing it up in the air.
And like, well. Look what we got here. How the mighty have fallen. Yeah. I mean, what do we talk? You say your situation.
I mean, Netflix just ruined my whole gig.
Yeah.
But so far we found like the little kind of a loophole is that it doesn't affect mobile devices. So, I share amongst 5 people. You get the $20 one that gives you 4 devices, and
how many of those 5 people actually live in the same house?
None.
So it's 5 different people.
I mean, my parents live in their house. I live in my house, and then my two buddies
yeah,
live
and
in separate houses.
you
So it's
and
4
Liz
different households.
have their own, like, have your own account, right? Like, you
Right.
guys just share. So your parents, and then like you got 3 other friends floating out there that each mooch, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so
And they're not mooching. I mean, we split it, so it's even cheaper amongst
it's said in a loving
so-
way, right? We're all, this is the nature of Netflix. You're supposed to be able to mooch, motherfuckers.
So I mean, that's $20. I'm not letting anybody mooch on $20.
So the way that this works is you pay your $20, right, a month to get your premium high res 4K output,
Right.
which covers 4 screens in one household.
Right.
So in my situation, what it was I had Netflix from the beginning, and getting rid of Netflix like hurt me. But I was like, yeah, I don't need it. The chick's got it, and she has it because she's had it since her parents. So she's just still using that same account. I'll just get rid of mine, and then her mom's paying for their account because it's included. So fuck it, we'll just shave that. So us, it's one of those where it's like it makes sense to pay to be the extra $8 because we just share an account here, and we're never watching it at the same time. And even if you can, you still can, I think. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I don't know if it actually counts monitors or account logins, but at their house they had 3 like the mom, her sister, and then like her brother. Like they all have different accounts that they watch in the same household.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like completely different parts of the house and shit like that. So that's not like a phone here and like a computer there and like a TV there. It's like, no, there's actually different parts, So there it makes sense where it's like they would have the account, we pay the extra $8 and it's, bada bing, bada boom. In your case, like, what is the option? So like, there is none. Like in your case, we got 2 people sharing one account in one house, where you are the base account. So your household is the one that should have 4 people using it. And then you got your parents, right? So that then that's 2 people using the same account or more, what have you. That's one household sharing the same account. And then you got your 3 friends, none of which live together. So not one person in your entire situation can be the main account that houses the 4 main accounts.
That, I guess you could say, that necessarily needs the 4 accounts.
Yeah. But
Right.
I mean,
You know,
so like I said in my case, where it's like a majority of people would be able to still use the account, and then the one household that's being added just pays the $8. Yours is like, for you to get 4K, somebody has to pay the $20.
Right.
And no matter what, those screens are going to get wasted, like regardless. Now, anybody that's going to be associated with that account, whether or not they carry over 4K, I think we talked about that. We were joking around and shit, but don't know if those extra $8 accounts carries over the premium aspects of the main account.
I mean, honestly, I
4K.
would assume so.
Hopefully, for fuck's sake.
It should just
Like,
it should just mirror what you have going on your main account.
yeah. So
I mean, you're
like
paying $8 for an extra person just to log in. It's given that, granted, they're given basically their own username and password. So you
what
don't have to-
they're doing is they're adding a monitor, and it's a remote monitor, a monitor that can be watched at a different IP address. It's like you get 4 monitors at your house, then you get 1 monitor that's away from your house. You say mobile doesn't get affected.
Yeah, we just found that out today.
My thing was, I thought I could have swore. I mean, they could have just never been verified or even gone through with it, but could have swore that it was like you have to log in, because I think Hulu does it like this, but you have to physically log in to
Unless it's the same
Netflix on that Wi-Fi of the main
Yes.
account every 30 days for it to like stay connected and shit.
Yeah.
In which case, I mean, that's still not true. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to require you to be connected to the Wi-Fi directly whenever you want to use Netflix, which they considered.
Yeah.
Which would be stupid as fuck. What is wrong with you idiots?
I just need people to come to my house every 30 days to be logged in.
Yeah, they like check it and shit. It's like Netflix actually rolls up in a van. This come to check your status. I'm like, sir.
Instead of the Google Map car, it's a Netflix car just roaming around.
Yeah, the big penis on top.
Yeah, we definitely found that out today. So I got a bunch of text messages from everybody like,
Yeah,
dude, I can't log in. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah.
You know, but my dad checked it on his iPad, and he's like, still works. And I was like, well, there you go. You still have Netflix.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's really like not, like we. It's already been said that they're going to do it like regionally. They weren't going to do it all at once and yada yada. So, I haven't been prompted with it. I don't even know if I would be the one prompted with it. I think I would probably just be logged out. But
Well, you get prompted on, say, like you log onto your TV, right?
yeah,
The TV app, so it tells you that you are not in the household account, and if you want to add your account to that account or create your own account.
what if
So
I just
basically,
what if I
wanna,
just shut off updates on my Fire Stick?
I don't think it'll do it.
Would I still be able to watch Netflix? But I never got the update that has it like look for that feature and shit. That'd be
Maybe.
pretty funny. No, they wouldn't do that. But yeah, that is what it is. They're talking about this shit. They'll probably go back on this because they're gonna lose a fuck ton of business, dude. They're not.
What do you
gonna
think about it,
make
dude?
money from
It's
this
$8 an account, right?
shit. Cheaper
To get
than
off of that. Is it cheaper than the lowest account, which is like what, $7?
I mean, if your
$6?
only option for 4K is $20, then yeah,
Yeah, because the next option below that is
like 15,
1080.
16, yeah, 1080. And that's the 4 monitors, 1080, and then don't they have a 1080 with like 2 monitors?
It's
something
2
like that?
monitors, and then the lowest one is ads.
Jesus,
And,
pathetic.
dude, you're not catching me trying to watch a movie with ads in it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just we've reached that point. It's full circle. Netflix was the rebellious, the rebellious one that pulled away from cable and allowed people to no longer be reliant on
Yeah.
gigantic, enormous cable bills, $100+ a month just to watch some fucking shit cable. To then slowly the entire market of streaming be chipped away by those same companies. They got right back where they were, and now they got you by the balls. They all segregated themselves to different corners of the internet that you have to go. Like, you can no longer just, look for Spider-Man on Disney. You have to go to fucking Sony. Oh no, it's on Netflix this week, Fucking ridiculous. It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous. This whole situation is just fucking ridiculous. We've reached the point where people are going to start just reverting back to torrents, pirating again.
Yay.
It is what it is. You get what you fucking deserve.
Hopefully you get what you got when you downloaded it and it's not the Russian copy. you know?
Hey, I mean, as long as it's in English and shit, I'll take some Russian subtitles and shit. Like,
Is this dubbed?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so fuck Netflix. Moving on. Sony Showcase. Gonna burn through here real quick.
Another one.
Number one. I don't even know what the fuck we're reporting on anymore. Like, I don't even know what these Sony shows are. Which is a direct show or showcase or a fucking PlayStation show or Sony show. Who fucking knows, dude? Just whatever, bro.
Just expect one every quarter is what
whatever.
it comes down to, I guess.
Release the shit on Twitter. I'm sick of fucking watching all these production, high production shows and shit. Like, just to see nothing. In this particular case, saw some games, some remasters, an Assassin's Creed looks like a fucking mobile game and shit, like it's on an iPad, which is a new game, I guess. Not a remake.
Not a remaster.
I'm gonna say that the new game that looks fucking weird. I'm not gonna say it looks weird. It just looks like it. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what a remaster of the first Assassin's Creed would look like. And no, it wasn't. So,
But no, it's a whole new game.
Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Mirage.
Sounds familiar. Could have swore I've seen that before, but whatever. Yeah, there's a Solid Snake game in there, right?
Yeah, so you have Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater remake. We talked about the Spider-Man 2, which was one of the big showcase of that. You have Alan
Wolverine.
Awake 2,
Oh yeah, Alan Wake 2.
Final
Looked
Fantasy
pretty good.
16 again. So like we haven't seen another trailer of that.
Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 6.
Now out.
I don't know about that game. I'll wait till
The
Mortal Kombat.
fighting of Street Fighter. Given it was weird when I played that game, I was like, wait, these don't feel like the fucking controls that I'm used to. Like, these don't feel anything like the controls I'm used to. Might have had it set weird, might have just been the street mode, might have been my character. I have no idea, but it was not the whole, like, small, medium, heavy kick. It was
yeah.
it was like three buttons were attacks, A was jump. Like, it was very strange. I don't know. It might have just been my boomer ass brain dealing with it and just not being very satisfied. But
Like,
as
I'm
far
definitely
as
not playing the street part.
well, yeah, that was stupid. But I think it's one of those things that you just have to like deal with to like farm. But the fighting of Street Fighter is still, in my opinion, superior. More just kind of like, you know, your grassroots fighting game. It's just the traditional Hadouken. Everybody knows how to throw a Hadouken and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of Mortal Kombat, it's a little bit closer to it's a another realm game, you know. So it's a little closer to like your Injustice theatrical style fighting. It's not. It's got that kind of three-dimensional movement to it. It's not a stationary 2D fighting game. So I don't know. I think it's like pick your poison, whatever you like. I think visually, yeah, Mortal Kombat looks way more stunning. But you know, Street Fighter, bro, it's been fucking forever. Street Fighter 5 came out
True.
forever ago. And you know, just gotta represent. So gee, I'm playing
I'll wait
Street
till it
Fighter
goes down
Duel
price.
like a fucking fiend right now. So I mean, I gotta represent. That's what it is what it is.
Bungie showed up with a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. I like that trailer. It was just a
Yeah.
bunch of trailers, not a lot of gameplay. I think that's what we're seeing in a lot of these showcases, just trailers. It's like, dude, I could go to YouTube and watch that. I don't need an hour and 12 minutes of a
I mean, they had
show.
some equipment, but I mean, I played Marathon, the original. I mean, people know that Marathon was like the original Bungie title, and that was the one they got before they got Halo. Marathon was like their standalone, so this is them coming back, visually completely different. Obviously, two completely different era. I think it was like a late '90s PC game, if I'm not mistaken. So very shitty graphics, very dark, Duke Nukem-esque type gameplay, you know, Doom type, you know.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about like a new Bungie, you know, approach at that. And Bungie, you know, we all got to give our props. It's like some of the most enjoyable FPS multiplayer gameplay that you can get out there, you know. Destiny 2, OG Halo, just
Yeah.
right down to it, nitty gritty.
Rip.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. They're never coming back. So yeah, you do have that, you know, and I guess Destiny 2 is in there too, right? Then the Cade 6 returns to Destiny 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Nathan
That was
Fillion.
really quick though.
Nathan Fillion getting fucking destroyed in the game, dead, dead, but now back. Okay, that's for the what Final Strand expansion DLC.
Is that what it was? I thought it was. Is it Final Strand or Final?
I think it's Final Strand.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's final anything. Destiny 2 is gonna be around for fucking years.
With all the DLCs that keep coming out, I mean,
yeah. Well, they
can that game die?
when they switched over to Sony, when Sony bought them, sellout fucks. But when they got bought out, they had stated that they had no plans of having a new installment. They were just going to continue on with Destiny 2. So we could look forward to more years of it. I think visually, I don't think anybody's hurting on Destiny. You know, it's not like WoW, where it's like, okay, man, you can come out with a new WoW now. This shit looks fucking tired, man. It looks old. You know, fucking RuneScape level shit. So you know, I think Destiny 2 has some more gas in its tank. You know what I mean? You can put on some more miles. So Nathan Fillion, I think he did make a return in that. But yeah, one of the more enjoyable characters, to be honest. I played as much Destiny 2 as they allow me for free, and I had my exposure to that character, and I enjoyed it. So good to see him back. And then kind of skimming through what else important wise, aside from like weeboo shit.
Honestly, I think that was pretty much it.
That's all
You know,
weeboo
like
shit. The other hour was
was-
weeboo shit.
yeah, dude. Those were probably like the biggest games that stood out.
Yeah, and I think the biggest, I guess we talk about the earbuds first. Don't know the official title of them, but the Sony earbuds, PlayStation earbuds. Basically, what AirPod Pros or AirPods or whatever. It looks like they can be hooked up with, what was it, PC, mobile, and basically anything other than a fucking Xbox. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get it to work on Xbox because that's just how it works. But
I mean, if they're Bluetooth, all you got to do is just use an adapter.
Hey, they do put in something. It's like you just can't. You'd have to get an adapter. Much like it takes a bit of finagling to get a PlayStation controller hooked up to an Xbox, but you can get it to work. Looks good. It said the quality is supposed to be like amazing. Yada yada yada. Same shit. Yada yada. Probably has a microphone in it. Same shit. As always, nothing new, but it is a PlayStation branded version. Whether it'll be a novelty, I have no idea. Most likely going to have its own proprietary charging cord for the fucking case because that's how Sony works.
Nah, it'll probably run off of the USB-C cable.
Bullshit. That's fucking Sony. They're going to have some fucking.
You know what they're going to do
like,
too? They're going to make you plug it in to update them.
Probably.
They're going to be like, oh, your earbuds are out of date. Here's another update.
Although it'll probably not have a charging plug in it at all. It'll only have a charging plate that you can set it on that has no removable cord. Oh my god. And that cord can only be connected to a PlayStation. That's going to be
it's like what is it? The Qi chargers?
Yeah.
For like iPhone,
Yeah. I mean, I like those.
It only does PlayStation though.
Yeah. Only that thing.
Only that thing.
The cord is fixed. It doesn't come out and it can only be charged through a PlayStation 5. No other PlayStation, just a PlayStation 5. No wall port or anything like that. No nothing. Not in your car. Just a PlayStation 5.
And you have to buy the cable separately.
Yeah, and for some reason you still need a memory stick and shit. Like no reason, but you need it to operate it. You need to put.
You need a 2 gig stick now.
Yeah,
2 terabyte. I'm gonna say $100.
Oh no! Oh fuck no! No, I'm gonna go 250.
250.
I'm gonna go 250.
No way, because the ones that they sell right now are less than that, right? The 3D Pulse ones, those are $100.
No, dude, they're going after Apple with this, with it being connected to phones and shit. How much is your AirPod Pro or AirPod Pro or whatever?
AirPod Pros are what, like 250, 200, 250.
Not yours. I'm talking about like the earbuds.
Yeah, I have.
That's what those are, right? Like the ones with the little.
The earbuds are AirPod Pros.
The mic
AirPod Maxes are the ones that I use.
Oh yeah,
at home.
Fucking tool ass bitch. And anyways, fucking like 250. That's 100%. They're gonna go after that. That's their target. They're 100% gonna be 250. That was just a guess, not even knowing what the price of those are. 100% they're gonna price them the same. They're gonna price them like Raycons, motherfucker. They're gonna go after fucking the AirPods and shit. And then I think we're all very excited. Probably one of the most innovative pieces of technology in the last century, maybe century and a half. This portable dog shit PlayStation 5 thing. What was it? It was a handheld companion for the PlayStation 5.
Yes.
That requires the use of the Wi-Fi network in which the PlayStation 5 is connected to, and does not allow for device storage of any of the games. So to make that clear, when you buy a Switch, you download games and you put cartridges into that console, you can play that anywhere. Same thing with the Steam Deck. You're downloading those games to the Steam Deck, in which you are able to play when you're, I don't know, on a train, on a plane, in a fucking lobby, waiting, whatever, taking a shit. That's what you're able to do. The PlayStation, whatever the fuck this is called, that has literally
a Q, bro,
a DualShock controller that they chopped in half and then duct taped onto the side of this fucking Galaxy Tab. It is literally just a Steam Link. It's like okay, so they took 3 things and they set them on a table. They took a Steam Link. I'm like, okay, so this thing, it allows a PC to mirror the image of the game onto another device in the house. That's a pretty good idea. It's cheap too. This thing over here, this allows, this Galaxy Tab, it allows for a nice big bright OLED screen and shit. I think they said OLED, right? Was it OLED?
I think it is. Yeah.
I think I saw that. I
would hope so.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I think it said that. And then they had the fucking DualShock sitting there, and they're like, yeah, it's pretty good. We don't want to redesign it, so just chop off that center section and we'll use it. So they literally just took the honking ass controllers They stuck them on the side of a fucking Galaxy Tab, and then they just shoved, instead of like a processing unit that has storage and graphic card, and I mean it does obviously, but like, you know what I mean, like a console level of technology. It's literally just a device to mirror the image from your TV to that device. So I think like your most practical use of this would be literally taking a shit,
Mm-hmm.
sitting in your backyard on the back porch,
Maybe if
chilling.
your Wi-Fi is that good.
If your Wi-Fi is that good, I mean, today they're not too bad.
They said it has to be, at least for a good experience, 15 megabytes per second.
On wireless,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of standard these days. But also that depends on your modem too and what it's outputting on Wi-Fi. How far the 5.6 band reaches, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's this thing is subject to so much ridicule, dude. Like what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, what is this?
Is
Why
this
the
thing too
fuck?
soon?
I mean, like, what do you
Like,
mean?
should they have waited until they can actually make the device where you can cloud play?
That was the thing I was gonna say. I was like, this would have to be a complete cloud play only device, which may be their angle to swing it in later. But I mean,
Because I
really,
mean,
that
you
would be
can't
like
do that right now because the game has to be installed on your PS5 at home.
yeah, and most likely has to be playing for you to access. Because if it's a Steam Link, in terms of technology, it literally just you're controlling your computer just from a different room, and you're using the box as like the receiver. It's not like rocket science and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally what they did. They just shoved that shit into a screen and slapped a controller on it.
Yeah.
So the practicality of this, I have no idea. Almost feels like they felt that they had to do something because everybody was like, bring back the PSP, bring back the PSP. Like, oh my God, PSP 2, blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, whatever, bro. I mean, yeah, they would probably benefit from bringing back a PSP.
I think I still have mine.
It's a cool console. It's slick design, not bad. It's good size. What was it? PSP 3000 or whatever, 4000 was it 2000 or whatever.
2000.
We're talking about Steve Martinez always playing SOCOM on that shit. I mean, like, damn, bro. So I mean, yeah, they could have released something like that, but this is not that, bro. Like, this is not that. You are not able to just throw in a fucking PS5 game into this thing, you know? Like, the PSP, it had a cartridge. You pop it open, you put your PSP game in it, and you're playing, you know? Like, it made sense. It was a handheld console. This is not that, so...
No, it's not OLED.
No.
It's LCD.
Oh my God.
Even worse. It just gets worse.
This
It
thing's a
just gets
fucking
worse.
piece of dog shit. Hey, don't buy this. Whoever the fuck's listening, don't buy that shit.
I'm gonna say 350. I'm gonna say 350.
I'll go 250 with
It's
that.
just
I'll go
Wi-Fi.
250 with that
You gonna say
because
250?
yeah, I'll go 250 with that because Switch is 250.
Okay. What's an OLED Switch?
299.
Hmm.
And then the
And that's with mobile.
the-
You could take it out and about.
what's the other one
gameplay.
called? The Switch Lite is I think 150 or 199.
Man, that's just a Game Boy.
Basically, we have one of those as well, and it's it's playable. I like the other ability, like the docking abilities and stuff I have with our other Switch, but for just pop out and play, it's good for keeping in the backpack. Not bad. It's cheap as fuck, bro. All the Switch consoles are cheap as fuck. You get like 2 games and make your investment worth it. That's the best thing about that shit. You're not gonna get that out of a fucking glorified Steam Deck, mobile Steam Deck. So we will see. Fucking Sony ponies eating good, I guess.
Dude.
Fucking what the fuck?
Ridiculous.
What the fuck? These people have the audacity to try to dictate the climate of the market and who could buy what and who could do what and all this shit. This company, the company that just showed all this dog shit, is the ones trying to fucking flop their dick around and like flex and shit. Fuck that. This showcase was dog shit. Moving on. Moving on. A new trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem drops. I watched it. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck ever. It's for fucking kids. My kid's too young to watch it. I'm way too fucking old to give a shit about it. So it is there. If you're into TMNT, then check it out.
There
But
you go.
it's a unique art style. If you're into animation, might be a good watch. But that was another thing. I just wasn't really privy to that animation style. So it is what it is. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson returning to the Fast and Furious franchise with new standalone films. What was his name? Hobbs or
Hobbs?
something like that?
Um, what more can we do with Fast and Furious than I thought it was already dying. I thought
I mean, I
the movie
watched
that
that.
just came out
I watched
was
that first movie. It was not a Fast and Furious movie. So I mean, they're just doing whatever the fuck they want, really.
so Fast and Furious movies ended at probably Tokyo Drift.
The third one and shit.
That had nothing to do with what was going on
Well,
in
the fourth
Fast
one
and
had
Furious.
the fourth one came back right and had
No, that's when they start saving the world and shit, right?
no, because it was Fast and Furious. It was Fast and Furious, the second one, right?
Yeah.
Then they did
And then
Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift.
And
which-
then the fourth one was when what's his name came back, right? Paul, whatever the fuck. What's his name? I don't know.
Paul Walker?
Yeah, Paul Walker and shit. He came back for the fourth one, right? And then it started really going downhill.
But I'd still say 4 wasn't. I don't
Oh
even
no,
remember
three
what
and three and
was.
four were dog shit already. Like after the second one, it was already.
Dude,
Second
Tokyo
one was
Drift is
like
my favorite one.
Oh really?
I love
The one that
Tokyo
had
Drift.
like nobody from any of the.
I mean, at the end of the movie, he comes in. You got Vin Diesel,
Oh my god, that was
And
my
that's
thing.
when
Is
you
like I
learn-
didn't give a shit about any of those characters. So I just
and then
didn't
you
give
learn
a-
about Han. You know where he came from and where
Oh
he went.
no, I don't give two.
So
I'm a fucking, you know me, bro. Fucking owning that Corvette and shit and all the hot rod shit. It's like I was just there for the cars, and it was like in solidarity with you know the little fucking rice rockets and shit zipping around and shit. So it was like, yeah, whatever. I was all about his, you know, his hot rods. And then what was the film? The fourth one, right? With the Yanko Camaro and there was some
no, that
other.
was 2.
Was it 2? Yeah.
That was 2. That's when they
Camaro.
raced for the Camaro and the Charger, I think.
Yeah. Like sexy shit. There's always there's always a nod and appreciation to muscle cars and almost a reverence to it in those films. So that's
That's what
why
I'm saying. Is he
I
had the
appreciate
Mustang in Tokyo Drift.
come at me with a Mustang, fuck in my face and shit. So yeah, he's coming back. Fast and Furious franchise. This is though interesting because I see it from like a perspective of like Hollywood because he was like he turned his nose at Vin Diesel and the whole franchise and kind of got like, you know, better than now because Black Adam, you know, it was
Right.
posing to be the biggest thing.
He was going to take over. That was going to be his
Yeah.
new universe.
So he kind of shit on Fast and Furious. There was a little bit of shit talking going on there. There's a little bit negative back and forth. Then Black Adam bombed, and
And now he was like, "Oh my God, I have nothing else to go
Well-
for." So he goes
I think,
crawling back to the Fast and Furious.
I think Rock also for the first time experienced his first bit of rejection from like the crowds. Like he wasn't just being pandered to because I'm not being disrespectful. He's an incredibly mediocre actor. Like
He's a wrestler.
he's a wrestler. Like
He's a wrestler. Okay,
you give
So-
Batista the right role, like in Blade Runner and stuff like that. He can actually act a little bit. Chris,
Have you seen John Cena act?
yeah, it's actually not bad. To be honest, have you seen Peacemaker?
Yeah,
It's not that bad. He's not that bad.
I guess he follows the same
He's
kind of
probably the
character,
best
but-
out of all of the wrestlers turned actors. To be honest, like I'm not a huge John Cena fan, but to be honest, like the way he delivers lines in Peacemaker is pretty funny. Actually, he says some pretty funny shit, and he
No one
pulls
can
it
see
off.
John Cena.
You gotta understand, like when Drax is talking, it seems like Drax knows that there's cameras around, and like that's just how all actors are. They feel on the spot.
Right.
At least John Cena seems genuine. He might not like have like the best acting sense and like facial expressions, but like it still feels like it doesn't feel like there's cameras watching him. It feels like you're just watching, you know, him and shit. So I think John Cena is probably the better out of all of them. The Rock is probably goddamn pretty fucking low, to be honest. He's just been in some bangers. Fuck Scorpion King. Of course. Naturally.
when he came out animated in the
Oh,
movie.
dude, that was so bad. Holy shit. But, I like Jumanji, and that's kind of like a corny role, not good acting. Fucking, what's her name? Hell yeah. Gillian or whatever. Fucking.
What was the other movie he was in? That was
Oh,
kind of
there's-
like Jumanji.
There's tons. Oh, Jungle Cruise.
Yeah. He does fine in those movies.
Yeah, the where like you're not looking for a fucking major performance type shit.
Yeah. And you're expecting corniness out of it,
Yeah.
But these types of movies where he's got to be the big bad tough guy. What was it, San Andreas? He
Shit.
saves the entire world.
I never saw
from,
that,
like,
but I
one
definitely saw the
earthquake, and it's
promotional
just,
shit.
come on.
I grew up
mean,
there. I don't need to see that shit.
So it's like, I don't know. He doesn't come off as like the greatest actor. And
Leading
for him
man. He doesn't have leading man chops.
That's
Even though
what it
he's
is.
always in leading man positions.
I mean, did you watch the was it Hobbs versus
Yeah, I did.
Shaw?
I did.
And that's
Very
where you
corny.
get that. That's where you get that from.
What's his name?
Is that what he's gonna be then? For it to be a standalone?
Yeah, he's gonna be talking.
Because even
himself.
that was standalone though.
Well, Jason Statham is fucking. He's a good leading man for the most part. He's watchable. And
He acts
The
the same
Rock
in every movie.
needed him to bounce off of in that movie. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Not talking shit. Please don't pop
More
my head like a
Fast
zit
and
and shit. But yeah, Rock is back to Fast and Furious, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we got together back in last year and talked it out." I was like, "Oh, I just around the time that fucking Black
Bombs.
Adam was bombing in the fucking movie theater. How
Yeah.
interesting and shit."
And he was
so-
realizing that I am not gonna have this universe.
yeah,
So-
pretty much.
Got to go back to the Fast and Furious universe.
You gotta take what you can get. Too old to go back to wrestling. I mean, he's definitely
he
not.
probably could.
Yeah, he probably could. Fucking
Undertaker did. Undertaker could do it.
Yeah, but everybody's all they're not laying into the dude and shit.
That's true.
Gonna blow out his back. You ain't gonna blow anything on fucking Dwayne Johnson though. Shit, you'll fucking hurt yourself trying to jump on that dude.
Oh, it's all those roids.
Yeah. No, it's all natural, bro. What are you talking about? Bro? What are you
My
talking
bad,
about,
my
bro?
bad. I'm sorry.
Hey, well,
I'm sorry.
allegedly,
He hasn't-
allegedly,
He hasn't
allegedly.
discussed his whole regimen. So.
Yeah. He gets that by eating pancakes. You saw the picture.
Yeah, that's that carnivore diet.
Yeah, the Liver King diet and shit.
That's exactly what it
He's
is.
on that Liver King diet.
He's on that Liver King diet.
Yep. Well, that is pretty much it for the roundup stories. I did get a little extra one in here though. Because I was taking advantage of it. I just have a general interest in like space and
Some science.
yeah, a little science activity here. But you can help NASA map the skies by contributing the newest @Do NASA Science project on Twitter. And it's kind of assisting through sorting through. They're like 4 or 5 frame stills that like the telescopes have picked up of like space phenomena, whether they be like malfunctions with the camera or light flares or what have you. But really what you're looking for is like asteroids and shit. You're actually looking for asteroids floating around out there and things that actually move like objects in space. And you might be going through there and cycling through like couple dozen, and there's nothing, and then all of a sudden you'll run into like an actual legit like asteroid. It's like,
I feel
fuck.
like they just want you to find what's gonna kill Earth.
Basically they want hey, to be honest, like outsourcing this type of research does help prevent that type of shit. So
Does it prevent, or are we gonna have ourselves a Bruce Willis?
they just need to know how
Ben
fast they need to
event?
get their escape ship together and shit.
Yeah, seriously, how fast they're gonna have to make it to Mars?
Well, whether or not you get a ticket on that ship or not, they name the shit after you if you find something. So that's always good. I have my little like portfolio of actual finds, and they're like 100% legit actual space objects. That's cool as fuck to be like the person, because it's not. I'm sure they like repeat them to people to like verify whether or not it actually is something before they look at it. But to find something that nobody else has like seen just because it's something the computer picked up on that they just simply don't have the time to sort through. So you can actually go in there and contribute and find some shit and get shit named after you. So go ahead and check it out. Like I said, @Do NASA Science is the Twitter account, and then they got the links. They got some other stuff too, like similar types of projects where it's like, okay, well, look at these like light values, and if it matches this pattern, then it's this type of quasar, and if it's this type of pattern, then it's this, and you help delegate certain things, and it helps them narrow things down to where they can actually look and make discoveries and stuff. So you actual nerds out there, you'll probably actually enjoy that, so go and check that out. And that is pretty much it for this show.
Well, we're not going to go into the other review.
What?
Little Mermaid, bro.
Fucking A, bro. Hey, I mean, I actually did hear some shit about that, to be honest. I've actually heard people say, then, like, to me, like, completely blown my mind, because I saw it, I was like, this movie's gonna fucking suck, bro. Like, this movie's gonna fucking suck. Like, I hear so much shit, because, I got, like, Disney family I'm like, associated with here,
Dude, my wife is up in arms right now, bro.
I heard literally people say, and people that, like, are directly associated to like, friends and family say that it is better than the original.
No.
I heard people say that it is better than the original. And, like, reviews online are actually stating that it quite well could be better than the original. And it's, like, the only of the live-action Disney films that has actually done something to improve upon the original source material. I mean, I'm not going to watch them. I'm sure she will and tell me and shit. But...
Oh, she's not going to watch The Little Mermaid, the new one. She's watching Little Mermaid original. Probably right now.
I mean, it's a classic, I mean, of course. I mean, we just, we didn't... We're guys, so we don't like. We've all seen them, but we never watched them. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it is.
She knows the songs. Like,
yeah, and that's how she is too. She plays the Disney music in her classroom, and Mickey this, and the baby has Mickey clothes, and there's stuffed animals all over the place, and we're about that life. You know what I mean? So. It is, it's fine. It's fine.
I just wanted to hit you with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I blew you away even more.
Yeah, you did. I actually didn't expect you to come out with anything.
Resounding praise for that film, actually, which is crazy. Which is actually one of those things where it's like, well, now I'm kind of interested. I want to see what they're talking about.
You let me know how that goes.
I might, I mean, some F movies, bro.
There
Fuck
you go.
Movies, dog. Fuck movies, bro. So I mean, we'll see. I'll check that out, especially when it gets to Disney Plus and the chick forces me to sit down and watch it and shit. It is what it is. But yeah, crazy. Heard that was actually pretty good. There was other news, little things like, Nintendo going after an emulator on Steam, and then there's, other stories of actors and rumors and shit like that. And like I said, we may start getting more into like the speculatory type of reporting and rumor mill and stuff like that, but then you get in like the territory of trying to compete with other similar outlets, and also at the same time, like, you put your credibility into question if you report on things inappropriately, and fuck all that. Like, I don't know about all that. I'm doing this shit solo when it comes to like retweeting and shit like that. I don't know
you get the rock coming at you.
How deep I want to go. Yeah, well, I already talked some mad shit about Black Adam, so if he was gonna pop my head like a zit, it would have been months ago. But yeah, we'll see. But this was a fairly long show for nothing. We did talk about the Sony shit a little bit. We griped about that a little bit. Yeah. And then Spider-Man was a nice little discussion because we're both pretty stoked about that shit.
Yeah, we'll come back with another showcase probably in like 2 months.
Yeah, another whenever the fuck, like the summer showcase for all these companies.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we got Comic-Con.
Oh yeah.
That's like 2 shows from now. I think it's July 2nd week. July.
Well, it's not June anymore?
Might be June. I don't know.
Fuck, it was June.
Oh my god. What is it? What is this?
It is... No, July 19th to the 23rd.
Okay. God, the vibes of San Diego around that time, though. Not the BO inside the place, but just like the vibes of being at Comic-Con and how fucking gorgeous it is. The water's right there. Just fucking, you can just smell money. Like, there's just money in that area. And fucking, it's just a solid experience. But yeah, we got that coming up. We're, like we said, bi-weekly now, so we're back in a couple weeks. I mean, fuck, man, this show would have been like, I don't know, 15 minutes if we reported on this last week alone. Like, it would have been super short. Like,
oh yeah,
Diablo launch and Dwayne Johnson would have been like the only things really to
And
talk
that's
about.
it.
Yeah, well, all right, thank you guys
All right,
for.
there you go.
Yeah,
Thanks
so,
for staying along, but
so I mean, it might have been actually a good decision to shift to a bi-weekly schedule randomly because the news has kind of followed us along. So, actually a good thing. Actually a good thing. Kenny is not with us because he's a degenerate
yeah,
piece of dog turd
he may not
who
be back
chose
ever.
work over being here with us today. I mean, he was available last week. He was on stream and all that shit last week, and we were drinking, both drinking our fruit force and shit, and fucking
I was at work.
getting all crunk and shit. You all talking shit about us playing Minecraft, all fucking smashed and shit. Bro, you don't understand. Like every game it's it no holds barred once you start drinking and shit.
Were you guys on Peter Pan's flight?
Oh, we went on to there's a. It actually wasn't as impressive as the one I originally gone to, but there are a number of maps where people have gone in and very tediously recreated like Disneyland Park.
Oh, because
Like
I turned
all
on the
of it.
stream like when I came back from like doing my rounds. I was like, "Are you guys waiting to go on a ride right now?"
Yeah, that server was broken too. We're like, how the fuck? Because it was like telling us to do things. So we were going through the little missions, and the first thing was like, okay, now go ride a ride, go ride Peter Pan. It was broken, so it's like we couldn't progress anywhere after that. Like, all right, well, this park sucks. But I've been on some really impressive ones where it's still Minecraft and the shit works clunkily. But you know, roller coasters are actual roller coasters. Teacups do what they do. You know, Star Tours is under construction because what the fuck are you gonna do there? You know, the practical shit. You know,
Right. The
all
actual
that
rides,
shit. Yeah,
physical
the
rides.
actual rides there. And Indiana Jones is actually there. They recreate the rides, and there's like the lava and the snake and all that shit. You know, so it's legit. There's countless servers like that. That's the thing with Minecraft is you can always just go and start looking at people's creations, and then once you start finding shit, you're like, oh man, that's crazy. We were just playing Minecraft straight because we got a free server for a month, and he had never played Minecraft before, so I was just having him get used to it. But after the fact, we went and started experimenting with server hopping. But it is what it is. With every show, got the free and heavily discounted games. I didn't really look into the heavily discounted. I did inadvertently. Actually, I was just looking for like a deal, something I could play. And I didn't really see anything, so nothing to report on in terms of big discounts. So, Midnight Ghost Hunt, though, did tell Kenny to download this over on Epic Game Store until June 6th. Now, some people have played Prop Night, and some people have played like Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters has their first-person ghost hunting phasmophobia style game now. This is more of like a prop hunt. So, have you ever seen Prop Hunt?
No.
Okay, so Prop Hunt is it's like 4v or 1v4, and the villain, the bad guy, much like Dead by Daylight or whatever, it's one of those types. In this particular case, they have like the ability, the good guys, the people trying to get out, right? The victims or whatever. They have the ability to turn into props. Everything in the map is something that can be manipulated. So you can turn into a refrigerator, you could turn into a cucumber, you could turn into a fucking coconut, you could turn into a basket or a bottle or whatever, and then stay perfectly still and try not to be detected by the bad guy. You know what I mean? So you're trying to get through an objective, you hear the bad guy coming, you turn into something in the room, and you try to just chill. And they try to like destroy shit in the room to find you, but really they got to keep moving because, you know, there's people doing shit trying to get out. So Prop Night is that. And this is a mix of that and like Ghostbusters. So you got one team who are the ghost hunters. They have their tools and their equipment and their ghost busting shit. And then you have the team of ghosts who have the ability to inhabit objects around the map and also free fly as ghosts and shit, try to avoid being captured as ghosts. So I put that on the list of we're gonna have to get fucking saucy and play that shit on stream. Unfortunately it's not available on Mac, my bad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's also not available on anything other than PC. So I told Kenny to get it. Next time he's on stream, we'll get fucking drunk and play that a little bit. So that'll be fun. Like I said, June 6th, all the way over there on Epic Game Store. Midnight Ghost Hunt. Check that out. And that is it for this week's show. You can find us at Nerd Chatter Show on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can find the Nerd Chatter podcast anywhere you can find podcasts, including Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Audible, Spotify, and basically anywhere else you can find podcasts. Make sure to subscribe and follow while you're there. Much appreciated. All of our episodes are uploaded on the YouTube channel, where you can also check out our weekly live streams, playing various games and drinking and all that good shit. Gonna be streaming tonight. Not sure what I'll be playing. Probably gonna be soloing it, I'm sure. Kenny working. But, you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. If you can support us on there, hit us with a sub and like as well. Also very much appreciated. Next show will be on June 13th or something like that weekend. Second weekend of June. Lucas, appreciate you being here, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, we will be back. Should have Kenny back that next show as well. And we'll have to get prepared for Comic-Con coming up in mid-July. We will most likely have like a 2-hour plus show, to be honest. So you also get prepared for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
That's gonna be a lot, because I'm gonna be talking. I want to talk about like Sideshow collectibles, and you know, like Wycom goes there and shows off technology, and then you got like comic artists there. You got announcements from like Marvel and DC and game companies dropping shit. Probably maybe even see some fucking Wolverine footage. Oh my god, didn't even think about it. It's not gonna be a place where you get like Grand Theft Auto announced or anything like that, but there's some potential. So expect a longer show on that week, and we'll have to make do. So we're out here. You guys take it easy. Late.
See you later.